The air hangs heavy in the cell, thick with the knowledge that time is running out. Shadows stretch across the narrow space as the last hours of daylight fade. The weight of finality presses down, an inescapable reality for the soul awaiting its fate. This is death row, a place where life is measured in minutes. Every clang of the bars, every footstep outside the cell door, serves as a stark reminder of the approaching moment. The world outside continues, oblivious to the drama unfolding within these walls. For the condemned, however, the world has shrunk to the confines of this cell. There is a profound stillness here, broken only by the rasp of labored breath and the pounding of a heart heavy with dread. This is a place where hope struggles to survive, choked by the certainty of the sentence. The prisoner, stripped of his name and reduced to a number, grapples with the enormity of his situation. Time, once a river flowing endlessly towards an unknown horizon, has become a stagnant pool. Each tick of the clock echoes with the agonizing slowness of inevitability, a constant reminder of the precious little time that remains. As dawn breaks, a sliver of pale light pierces the darkness of the cell. It signals not just the start of a new day, but the beginning of the end. This is the last sunrise the condemned will ever witness, the last time he will feel the warmth of the sun on his skin. The final 24 hours on death row are a tightly choreographed dance of routine and ritual. Prison staff, hardened by years of bearing witness to such moments, carry out their duties with practiced efficiency. Every action, every exchange carries the weight of its significance. The condemned is allowed a last meal of his choosing, a small mercy granted in the face of the ultimate punishment. It is a bittersweet indulgence, a fleeting reminder of the life he is about to lose. Every bite is savored, each flavor a memory etched in the mind. Lawyers, their faces etched with fatigue and sorrow, arrive for final consultations. They review legal options, though hope has long since dwindled to embers. Their words offer little comfort, serving only as a painful reminder of the legal battle that has reached its bitter end. The most gut-wrenching moments of the final 24 hours are reserved for goodbyes. Family members, their faces etched with grief and despair, are permitted a final visit. It is a heartbreaking tableau, a tapestry woven from tears, whispered apologies, and unspoken fears. The condemned, seeking solace in the eyes of his loved ones, struggles to find words to express the depth of his remorse and regret. He yearns to offer comfort, to ease their pain, but the weight of his impending death hangs heavy in the air. Children too young to fully comprehend the gravity of the situation cling to their parents, their innocent eyes reflecting a bewildering mix of sadness and confusion. The finality of death, the permanence of goodbye, is a concept too vast for their young minds to grasp. These visits are a cruel mercy, a painful reminder of all that is being lost. They are a stark illustration of the ripple effects of crime, the way in which the punishment extends far beyond the walls of the execution chamber. The emotional toll of these final hours weighs heavily on everyone involved. Prison staff, hardened by years of experience, carry out their duties with professionalism, yet even they are not immune to the somber atmosphere. The chaplain, a silent presence throughout the ordeal, offers words of comfort and spiritual guidance. He prays with the condemned, seeking solace and forgiveness in the face of the ultimate judgment. Lawyers, their advocacy exhausted, grapple with the weight of their client's fate. They are left to reconcile their sworn duty to defend their client with the knowledge that their efforts have ultimately failed to prevent this tragic outcome. The burden of witness extends beyond the prison walls. Journalists, tasked with documenting the execution, wrestle with the ethical implications of their role. They are chroniclers of a system that many believe to be flawed, their words carrying the power to shape public perception. Section 5. A Muffled Silence. As the final hours tick by, a strange stillness descends upon death row. The usual prison sounds, the clanging of cell doors, the distant shouts of inmates, seem to fade into the background, replaced by a pervasive silence. The condemned man, stripped of all possessions save for a few personal items, is allowed to make final phone calls. He speaks to loved ones, his voice often breaking with emotion, expressing remorse and seeking forgiveness. The air grows thick with unspoken words, with regrets and apologies that can never fully be expressed. The condemned man retreats inward, seeking solace in memories or prayer as he prepares to face the unknown. The prison staff, their faces etched with a mixture of fatigue and apprehension, go about their duties with quiet efficiency. The weight of the impending execution hangs heavy in the air, a palpable tension that permeates every corner of death row. Section 6. The walls close in. With each passing hour, the walls of the death row cell seem to close in, suffocating the condemned man with the weight of his impending doom. The air grows thick with anticipation, heavy with the knowledge that the end is near. A prison official arrives with the death warrant, a stark reminder of the legal authority under which the execution will be carried out. The condemned man listens impassively, his face betraying little emotion, as the official reads the document aloud. A doctor conducts a final medical examination, a perfunctory check to ensure the condemned man is healthy enough to be executed. The irony of the situation is not lost on those present. A life deemed worthy of taking is first meticulously checked to ensure its viability for termination. Lawyers make last-minute pleas for clemency, their voices echoing through the halls of power, but their efforts are often met with silence. The machinery of justice, once set in motion, is difficult to halt. Section 7. The Last Walk. The final moments before an execution are filled with a chilling choreography. The condemned man, his last meal finished, his goodbyes said, is led from his cell to the execution chamber. It is a walk he will not make in reverse. He is escorted by guards, their faces stoic, their movements practiced. They have witnessed this scene countless times before, yet the gravity of the situation is not lost on them. The condemned man may be offered a final opportunity to speak, to utter his last words. Some use this moment to express remorse, others to proclaim their innocence. These final pronouncements, often laced with emotion, become part of the permanent record of the execution. Witnesses, both for the state and for the condemned, are led to a separate room. They will observe the execution through a glass partition, their faces often reflecting a mixture of solemnity and morbid curiosity. Section 8. Beyond the Walls. While the execution unfolds within the confines of the prison, the impact reverberates far beyond the prison walls. Families of the condemned grapple with their grief, their pain compounded by the public nature of the execution. Families of the victims, too, experience a range of emotions. Some find a sense of closure, a feeling that justice has been served. Others struggle with the knowledge that the execution will not bring back their loved one, that the cycle of pain continues. The death penalty remains a deeply divisive issue, sparking heated debates about morality, justice, and the role of the state. Opponents argue that it is a cruel and unusual punishment, that it is inherently inhumane and irreversible. Proponents believe it serves as a deterrent to crime, a just punishment for the most heinous of offenses. The debate continues, fueled by each execution, a stark reminder of the human cost of this most final of punishments. Section 9. A question of morality. The death penalty stands as a stark reminder of the complexities of the human condition. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our capacity for both compassion and cruelty, for vengeance and forgiveness. In the aftermath of an execution, we are left to grapple with the moral and ethical implications of our actions. Was justice served? Or did we simply add another name to a long list of the dead, perpetuating a cycle of violence? These questions linger long after the execution chamber falls silent, challenging us to examine our values and our beliefs. They remind us that the death penalty is not just a legal issue, but a profound moral dilemma that speaks to the very heart of who we are as a society. The final 24 hours on death row are a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the finality of death. They force us to confront the human cost of punishment, the enduring impact of violence, and the enduring search for justice in an imperfect world.